Guys, this is Chris from Recombi and I'm here with the new Honor 6A budget smartphone. So it was launched earlier in the year, but it's just hit in the UK at the end of July 2017. It's going to cost 150 quid over on these shiny shores, and we're just going to do a quick hands-on with it here and now, just so you can get an idea of what to expect. So it's a 5-inch phone, so as you can see, it's pleasingly compact, actually pretty easy to use one-handed, which is definitely a bonus considering all these big 5.5-inch handsets which are sort of hitting stores these days. It's a full metal construction as well. It's not quite a unibody, as you can see, but it is very nice design all the same. Seems pretty rugged so far. Let's just peel off this little back sticker so you can get a clear naked view of it there. It's not exactly particularly slender. It's about sort of 8mm in all, but that's to be expected given the other compact dimensions on offer. And yeah, so far it certainly feels nice. There's no sign of flex or anything like that in it. It certainly feels very solidly put together. As you can see, fairly thick sort of bezels above and below the screen and reasonably wide at the sides, but all the same still feels nice in the hand, especially thanks to this nice bit of curved edging that you have there. Up top, of course, you get a headphone jack, ever so slightly jutting camera lens, but that's minor at best. Power button and of course volume rocker down this edge. On the other edge you get the SIM tray. It's a dual SIM support as well, so you can stick in either two SIMs or you can rock a micro SD memory card, which we'll discuss later. And down beneath it is sadly the old style USB port. It's no Type-C reversible action here, as long as of course with the dual grill speaker as well. As you can see, of course, it's full Android Nougat, rocking a bit of Emotion UI overlay, as per usual. It's version 5.1 of Emotion UI, so all of the latest features. So far, it seems really nippy. We've had a bit of a play for the last sort of hour or so, and it certainly seems to be doing the job. Honor themselves have been saying they've been really working behind the scenes to try and make it as smooth an experience as possible, and that really sort of shines through, despite the fact that they've added in quite a lot of extra functionality as well. You get all the usual gesture support and the rest. So for instance, you can double tap the volume down button and you're straight into the camera app. There you go, 1.4 seconds from doing that into taking a snap and all the rest of it, and you get all the other usual gesture support as well. So if you dive into the settings, you'll see there's quite a lot of little bits that you can customize and set up and everything. So navigation keys, for instance, you can completely configure those to your liking. You can of course configure the app stuff and all the rest of it as well. You can add an apps tray, of course, as you can on the other Emotion UI 5.1 handsets, which is lovely. So you can tidy away all this crap from your desktops, which is very nice. You do get quite a few pre-installed apps, as you can see here, booking.com and all that kind of stuff. Bit of Instagram action, nothing too offensive, and of course, thankfully, it looks like you can just remove them if required as well. So uninstall, boop, there you go, and it's gone. Bye bye booking.com. You get. Comes in a variety of different finishes, but over here in the UK, this silver sort of grey finish is going to be the standard one. Apparently, you can also pick it up in gold, blue, and pink. Although it doesn't look like any of those are going to be coming to these shores, so you're going to have to import those if you want them, which is a bit of a shame. Boo. Doesn't look like there's a fingerprint sensor, unfortunately, on this model, which is a bit of a shame. So you are stuck with the usual pin entry and the rest of it. But hey ho, you can't have everything, I guess. 150 quid. There are a few handsets out there, such as the Moto G5, which do have a fingerprint sensor at this price point. And of course the Vodafone Smart V8, which offers excellent value for money. But if that's not a priority for you, then all good. That 5-inch screen is a 720p IPS display. It's reasonably punchy, you know. The colours aren't particularly vibrant, but they're not muted at the same time. Images certainly look nice. So that's always good, and because it's a compact screen, 5 inches, you don't really notice the fact that it's a 720p resolution. You have to get in really close, even then you'll struggle to make out any individual pixels. It is definitely sharp enough for the likes of YouTube and that kind of stuff. You'll have absolutely no problem there, and obviously a bit of everyday web browsing and things like that as well. It's a Snapdragon 430 processor backed by just 2 gigs of RAM, which is the same specs that kind of hampered the Nokia 5. But so far, touch wood, on this phone, we haven't had any sort of proper stutters or stammers. It seems to be doing the job quite nicely. Apps, as you can see, load up reasonably quickly, which is always good to see on a device with quite basic specs. So that's very good indeed. 16 gigs of storage. If we just dive into that menu, which of course, as you might expect, is mostly taken up by the OS itself and all those pre-installed apps. So as you can see, there's only 8 gigs free to begin with. We haven't put anything extra onto this handset. All I've done is delete that bookings.com app so far. But thankfully you can expand via micro SD using that side slot there up to a further 128 gigabyte, I believe it is. So that's good, and you do get a rather sizable 3000 milliamp battery stuffed inside as well, with quick charge capability and the rest of it. So hopefully that will keep you going for a solid day and a half to 2 days. We'll be fully testing it for our in-depth review, of course, so stay tuned for that. As for the camera tech, it's a 13 megapixel rear camera with face detection autofocus. Certainly seems very nippy, as you might expect. So automatic shots and manually focused shots. all take nice and quickly, very little delay or anything like that. Probably helped by the fact that I don't think there's any HDR in the standard auto mode. I think you have to manually activate that in the camera mode settings. As you can see, you get a few bonus modes thrown in there as well. You get usual video stuff, slow-mo and time-lapse and all the rest of it. Seems to be less video modes on this than usual, so you don't get, for instance, the night shot mode or any of that kind of stuff, but that's absolutely fine by us. And you can also, of course, dive into the full settings and fiddle around with the resolution and all that kind of stuff. You can shoot up to full HD video as well with a bit of basic digital image stabilization, which again seems to do a reasonably good job so far in our testing. And around the front you get 5 megapixel camera as well. So that in a nutshell is the Honor 6A. As I say, stay tuned for our full in-depth review. We'll be covering it hopefully in the next sort of week or two. Yeah, any questions, comments, abuse, let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye.